In this video we share Pope Benedict XVI on the Second Coming and Final Judgment. The following comes from Pope Benedict's Introduction to Christianity. That is why the Second Coming of the Lord is not only salvation, not only the Omega that sets everything right, but also judgment. Indeed, at this stage we can actually define the meaning of the talk of judgment. It means precisely this, that the final stage of the world is not the result of a natural current but the result of responsibility that is grounded in freedom. This must be regarded as the key to understanding why the New Testament clings fast, in spite of its message of grace, to the assertion that at the end men are judged by their works and that no one can escape giving an account of the way he has lived his life. There is a freedom that is not cancelled out even by grace and, indeed, is brought by it face to face with itself. Man's final fate is not forced upon him regardless of the decisions he has made in his life. This assertion is in any case also necessary in order to draw the line between faith and false dogmatism or a false Christian self-confidence. This line alone confirms the equality of men by confirming the identity of their responsibility. Perhaps in the last analysis it is impossible to escape a paradox whose logic is completely disclosed only to the experience of a life based on faith. Anyone who entrusts himself to a life of faith becomes aware that both exist, the radical character of grace that frees helpless man and, no less, the abiding seriousness of the responsibility that summons man day after day. Both together mean that the Christian enjoys, on the one hand, the liberating, detached tranquility of him who lives on that excess of divine justice known as Jesus Christ. This is the source of a profound freedom, a knowledge of God's unrepentant love. He sees through all our errors and remains well disposed to us. At the same time, the Christian knows, however, that he is not free to do whatever he pleases, that his activity is not a game that God allows him and does not take seriously. He knows that he must answer for his actions, that he owes an account as a steward of what has been entrusted to him. There can only be responsibility where there is someone to be responsible to, someone to put the questions. Faith in the Last Judgment holds this questioning of our life over our heads, so that we cannot forget it for a moment. Nothing and no one empowers us to trivialize the tremendous seriousness involved in such knowledge. It shows our life to be a serious business and precisely by doing so gives it its dignity. Pope Benedict XVI introduces judgment as a setting for learning and practicing hope in his 2007 encyclical Spe Salvi, number 41. What does he mean by what we can identify as the Last Judgment? At the conclusion of the central section of the Church's Great Credo, the part that recounts the mystery of Christ, from his eternal birth of the Father and his temporal birth of the Virgin Mary, through his cross and resurrection to the second coming, we find the phrase, "He will come again in glory to judge the living and the dead." From the earliest times, the prospect of the judgment has influenced Christians in their daily living as a criterion by which to order their present life, as a summons to their conscience, and at the same time as hope in God's justice. Thank you for supporting my channel. May God bless you and keep you. Our Lady, Queen of Peace, pray for us.